What's good, y'all? Just tapping in. Monday morning. I know all y'all probably going to a job that you tricked yourself to convince yourself that you enjoy the job. I would say, I would say 97 to 98% of American citizens are in a job that they that is not their passion, that they don't enjoy, that they're doing just to make ends meet. And they're barely making ends meet, barely making ends meet. But, you know, got to pay the bills. And in the system of capitalism, rugged capitalism that we have in the US, you got to pay your bills. And the cost of living goes up, but wages are not going up. The cost of living, inflation, it's going up like this. Like, let's say we have a line chart, it's just going up. But wages, so one line represents the cost of living, inflation, and this is wages. Just straight horizontal line. You know, it's crazy, man. Yesterday I was in the grocery store for like past week. The last past week, I was in a grocery store and I'm looking at the price of eggs, man. And it's crazy. The price of eggs are now like at $10, like for a dozen, and they're going up. Like so, yesterday I looked at the price of eggs and they were like at 11 now. And that shit doesn't seem to be going down. It just seems to keep going up and up and up. Well, why aren't the wages going up? You know, people like to eat eggs, but you look at the price of items, the price of rent, the price, just the cost of living is steadily going up. Meanwhile, these employers are not trying to raise rates. What they want us to come in to work every day with a smile on our face and be happy and act like everything's okay. You know, I'm sitting in front of Starbucks, right? I took what they call paid time off, right? And shit, man, just I gotta figure some shit out, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this ain't how I want to continue to live. This is not my this ain't living. You know what I'm saying? This is just existing. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't living. You know what I'm saying? Like to only live for the weekends. You know, this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't living. And, you know what I'm saying? I know it's got to be more than this shit. And I don't think the majority of us will have the American dream here in the US of A. I think that only the rich and wealthy and elite will have the ability to still enjoy what that definition of American dream is, but the working class won't. The working class will just struggle in a police state, because that's what we live in a police state. You know, so I'm just chopping it up, man. I ain't got no, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna start doing a lot more. I'm gonna start doing more lives, even though, you know, I know probably gonna get a lot of views, but just chop it up, talk about random things. But yeah, man. I think YouTube, man, is I think I'm like banned on YouTube. Like it's funny, like I look at, let's say, my past videos, right? And I had some videos that's in the thousands, you know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, let's say a video can be catching steam, right? And all of a sudden, like it's going like this. I talked about this before in the last video, but the video is going like this. It's going up, it's going up, it's going up. The fuck you looking at? Fucking police state, fucking sheriff looking like I don't have a right to sit in my fucking car. This is what a fucking police state is, right? She felt that I don't have a right. I'm not bothering nobody. I'm sitting here minding my business on my laptop, talking to y'all, but she feel like she gotta go. So a black guy sitting in the van. Fuck these people, man. But let me talk about this. So yeah, it's a real life fucking police state, man. Real life fucking race soldier state where a black man, clean cut, I got a fade. I'm not clean cut, shave, lined up, not looking rough in a family van, but they still gotta have this look about it, because 80 to 90% of 80 to 90% of communication between human beings, Homo sapiens sapiens, is nonverbal. So body language encompasses a lot of our communication. The verbal part is the smaller percentage, right? Because somebody could say they're, you know, feeling a certain way, right? And that can come out of their mouth, but you can look at their body language, they all fidgety. Let's say they're calm, but they're all fidgety. Their eyes are, looking this way. And even though they're saying they're calm, their body language is telling the real truth, right? So just that the fact that this race soldier, the sheriff white woman looking at me like it lets me know in this country they call the United States of America, no matter what you do, no matter how you present yourself, no matter the highest ranks of office that you may reach, no matter how much money you acquire in your bank account, you still a nigga. You still a nigga. And that's the reality of this country. If you're a black American, you can go and be a doctor. Hell, you can be the president of the United States, but you still are a nigga, right? So onto my YouTube thing, right? So a video I can post can be going up, 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 and it's on a trajectory where it's going up, and all of a sudden, bam, it's just flat. How the hell does that happen? How can a video be getting all this interest at one point, and all of a sudden, bam, it's flat? You mean to tell me nobody is getting all this interest, but nobody's not it's not looking at the video no more? Come on, man. Nobody even clicked on the video no more after the video was just 24 hours going up like this. That's called blocking. That's called shadow ban. That's what YouTube does, right? 'Cause they don't really want the real shit out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And it can be frustrating because you can be frustrated and you may say, well, what? is the use of being a content creator, but you're not getting, you know, nowhere with it. You're not getting the reach that you want. And I say, man, you just got to keep going, bro. Just got to keep going. If this is your passion, like whatever your passion is, it could be shit. Whatever your passion is, right? I believe like if you have a passion for, I don't know, let's say somebody has a passion for jumping out of a plane. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of something. Somebody has a passion for, taking care of animals and pets, right? And that person, if it's your passion, that person would enjoy doing that whether they're paid or not. They would do it if they had the opportunity, had the time, if they had the freedom to do it, they would do it whether they're paid or not, right? And so, in terms of being a content creator, if you enjoy, if this your passion and you enjoy it, you're gonna do it regardless because whether you get one view to zero views, if it's something that you enjoy, that's your purpose, you're gonna do it regardless. And that's how I try to look at it. Like I do enjoy expressing myself, And I have a few YouTube channels I created, but I remember my first channel I created in my videos, like I got on there and I spoke about something that was passionate to me, that a now deceased YouTuber he expressed his opinion on somebody that I felt was passionate to me, Minister Farrakhan, and I felt like, man, hold on, man. I'm watching this guy video and I couldn't agree with what he was saying because I'm like, you may feel this way about the minister, but me personally, I know just listening to him, the impact and the change he's had on me, even though I didn't become a member of the nation, I know the impact that the ministers had on me. So I had to speak out on it and I did. And I wasn't expecting nothing, but the video actually it did good. Maybe it's because it's the title or whatever caught the algorithm at the time, but the people like it was some people in my comment section that like turned out like I seen some comments from people that turned out to be like major YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? Like known, went viral, whatever, known in the YouTube space later on. And I was like, damn, this person commented on my video and said how they enjoyed it and how, good it was. And now and this was before this person had kind of had blew up on YouTube and they're commenting. Now they're up here, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't expecting that. I just got on there and I just did it because I was passionate about it, and I didn't get paid for it. And oftentimes, when I was driving Uber, and I've heard this on more than one occasion, like even a guy that worked in radio, you know what I'm saying? I've heard on more than one occasion that I have a radio voice. Like I have a voice that I should consider, you know, radio or some type of, you know, podcast or media platform. Like I've been told that on more than one occasion, just me speaking. So I'm passionate about speaking and about, speaking my mind and what's on my mind, but I can say it gets frustrating at times. I got to keep reminding myself, but it does get frustrating to, when you're putting like, okay, I want to be heard. We all want to. We all want to be heard. Like humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, they desire, they have a desire to be seen, to be noticed, you know. So yeah, I put my messages out there, but at the same time, I would like my message to have some reach, you know. I would like my message to definitely have some reach, you know, but when you got these people in Silicon Valley that can control with the push of a button, what messages get out there and what don't, then you know, what can you do? Like, I don't know. I see one YouTuber who consistently gets on his live streams 100 100K plus people just watching him, 100K people plus just watching him. And I said, let me observe what he's doing. Like, so you know, I watched a few of his videos, a few of his live streams, and he literally just sitting there, you know, responding to comments, not really, you know, doing something like not, you know, cool brother, but not really doing anything like spectacular to or saying anything like real deep or profound or even comedic, but yet there's over 100,000 people just sitting there watching for hours on end. Damn, that's crazy. Is that is that through a sort of manipulation? You know, is it like organic or is it some type of thing that can be manipulated that YouTube has the power to do? I would venture on the side that it has to be. It has to be. You know, 100, that's a lot of people. 100,000 people just glued for hours on end. I guess like people don't have no life, no other things. I mean, hours, you know, the numbers don't really fluctuate. You know, like, damn, that has to be some type of, you know, some type of manipulation. I'm pretty sure. I know it's probably organic people watching it, but it has to be some type of manipulation. And I just think I know, and I'm feeling that YouTube just chooses who it wants to be their top person, you know, and that's just that's it is what it is, you know. There's nothing, you know. You just gotta. That's what you got to deal with, you know. So I'm just sitting here chilling, chopping it up, you know. Yeah, this one ain't gonna have no topic, man. I'm just, you know, tapped in. I'm applying for. You see, I'll be applying for right now. I'll be applying for these jobs internally, right? And I know I'm qualified for this. You know, I know that I'm overqualified for these positions I'm applying for. But what's happening is I feel like they want to keep me at they want to hold me at a certain position, you know, because it's more beneficial for them pay, you know, on a revenue basis, right? And so what I feel they're doing right now, they're just doing when I'm applying for these positions, like they're just scheduling these Zoom interviews as a formality. So they can't say that, oh, you know, let's say if I wanted to accuse them of discriminatory practices, right? they then they won't. I won't be able to say that because they'll say, "Oh, well, we are, you know, scheduling him Zoom interviews. We are, giving him some scheduling some interviews for some positions." But what they're doing now, right? Because I'm, they see that I'm not going to stop, right? They probably, all these internal positions I didn't like apply for, like in the hundreds, and they probably see that he's not going to stop. This guy's not going to stop. He's just going to keep, won't he get it? He's not getting it. We're not going to give him nothing, but he just keeps applying. He just keeps applying. So they're probably like, okay, we just had to do an interview. We had to give him, some interviews so that, you know, it won't seem like we're purposely blocking him, So we're going to keep. So I still tapped in. Yeah, so yeah, we're going to keep interviewing him so that he won't be able to accuse us of being discriminatory. And so that's what I feel like they're doing. Like they're just you know, doing these things as a formality, and now it's got to the point where they're not even doing the Zoom interviews no more. They're scheduling them and then they're canceling them at the last minute. Like today, I had a Zoom interview, and at the last minute they said, "Oh, the position's closed, cancel. Maybe it'll be open back up in May." It's just this the type of games they're playing. Or they'll schedule an interview and they don't even show up. So it's obviously what they're doing, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to keep me in this position, and I'm realizing that. So I'm not going to sit here, you know, and complain. I'm a vent, what I'm saying, I'm gonna talk, get it out, but I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, well, woe is me, I'm stuck." No, I got to figure out what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I have to plot, make some moves. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause some people might say, "Well, start your own business. Why don't you start your?" Yeah, you need money to do that. You need capital. For most businesses in the United States of America, whether you want to start a coffee shop or you want to get a food truck, or you want to have your own trucking company, security, whatever, you're gonna need some seed money, right? And if you can't go to the bank and get that seed money in the form of a loan, a business loan, and you don't have family members that can get you that money, Donald Trump, it's funny that like when people look at these billionaires and these multi-billionaires, I've there's one common thing I seen in their story, and I was listening to uh uh Elon Musk's Vlad TV interview, his father, and his father was basically explaining how Elon Musk grew up wealthy. Him and his brothers, his siblings, grew up wealthy in South Africa. That they didn't know poverty. That Elon Musk was used to driving in Rolls Royce, like being driven in Rolls Royce, and that when Elon Musk came to United States to with his brother Kimball, and they started a business that the father provided the seed funding, right? The father, who was wealthy, who was a rich, wealthy white a man in South Africa who benefited from the apartheid system, right? And then you look at Donald Trump. His father was a real estate developer in New York. He provided his son with seed money. And there's countless other stories. I can't recall all of them, but what I know is that few of these billionaires that we see in the beginning, whether if it was through venture capital or their family providing those funds for them, that seed money, very few of them just started from the ground, from the bottom, from the ground up, right? So if you want to start a business in this country, it's going to be very difficult for you to start any type of business without any initial investment or seed money. And so some of y'all might get on this, if you see this live, y'all might say, why don't you start your own business? Why are you complaining? Why don't you, yeah, you need some money to start your own business. You need some money. However you're going to get your money, you need some money. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the reality. You don't start a business with no money. You know, I don't care what nobody try to tell you. Oh, you can start a business with no money. Very few businesses you can start with money. Maybe YouTube business, right? Maybe a podcast business. But if YouTube, like I explained, is controlling shit and they deciding who they want to be to go viral and who they don't, what you gonna do, right? Even your podcast, it's got to hit, and many people start podcasts and have podcasts for years, and they're consistent with their podcast, but their numbers just stay very low, you know. So I'm I'm as a person that has a passport that my passport. Better have my thing. That's my ticket. Let me see. Y'all with me? As a person that got a passport, man. Passport. God darn it. Where is my passport? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do I still have my passport? Yeah. As a person who has a passport, you know, and it's stamped. It's stamped. I got some stamps and I'm I have to utilize this passport. I have to utilize this passport while it's still strong to figure out what I got to do because this America thing is not popping. It's not popping. And I'm not I'm not content with just working some dead end job just to barely survive. You know, I'm not content with that. Excuse me, y'all. Allergy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not content with just working some dead end job just to survive. That's not my that's not my picture of existence. To work a dead end job just to survive, to work a dead end job just to get by, to work a dead end job just to have enough, just to have enough to exist. And even though my efforts, even though my efforts on trying to find better employment or find better opportunities are going pretty much nowhere. I keep a list. I have an email. I decided to create this list right here. Let's see. So I created a email label or tab that says it's called rejection emails, right? This is my email label that I created called rejection emails. And this this label is in the hundreds. This is in the hundreds, and it's 2 pages. It's going on three. It's going on 3 pages. Literally, those are all the rejection emails that I get when I apply for a position and I'm rejected. I put that I I move that email to the rejection email label, and that is in the hundreds. That is all the rejections that I have gotten since for jobs that I applied for since I created that label. I think when did I create it? I created this label in April of 2024, and it's already in the hundreds. Just imagine if I created that over two years ago, because it's literally at the point where I'm applying for positions like whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on Indeed, Career Builder, all these different like sites, all these different career sites I'm applying for. And it's gotten to the point to where I'll see a position on LinkedIn, I'll see a position on Indeed, I'll apply for it, and I'll enter my email, and they'll say, "Oh, you already have an email registered for this. You already have an email registered for this account." I know your order by heart. So I didn't forgot. I didn't forgot because I've applied to so many positions that I didn't forgot the all the positions I applied for, man. That's how crazy it is. Like, and when I get email alerts, I apply for positions. Uh, when I get you know recommendations in my email, I apply for them. One position I keep applying for is the uh, Kaiser keeps sending me, you know, these email alerts and for account management positions. I apply for them, and I didn't apply for them. I'm pretty sure I done applied for these places so much they probably remember my name by now, even though they don't using that system that the ATS system software that it automatically screens through certain keywords. And I didn't update it. I didn't pay it over $300 to $400 updating my resume to so they can attract those ATS keywords that these companies use. I didn't use AI, Chat GPT. So, uh, but basically, yeah, I didn't apply for some of these positions so many times that they probably like, oh, this guy again. Don't he get it? Doesn't he get it? We're not gonna give him. We're not gonna give him the opportunity. So why don't you just give up? So I say all this to say that yes, I do feel that there's a certain point. where if you keep trying and you see that you're not getting nowhere, there's a certain point, unless it's your passion. As I said, if it's your passion, you're gonna do that regardless. You're gonna do it for free. But I do feel like it's a certain point to where you're trying and you see you're not getting nowhere. So you say, okay, I need to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Because they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So I'm like, okay, this American thing ain't working for me. Maybe it's the age barrier, maybe it's the race barrier. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's not it's not panning out. Don't seem to be getting better. There are options to not have my family, suffering or going through this or having a better option. Looking at the state of the United States, it's not on a incline, it's on a decline. You know, as all great empires, eventually they have their rise and then they have their fall. And the United States is no different than any other empire that existed at one time, whether it was the Roman Empire, whether it was a Sumerian Empire, whether it was the Egyptian Empire, Mesopotamia, whatever empire, uh, when Greek was great, all these empires at one point were comparable in greatness to the U.S. And now all those empires are no longer existent. They all fail. So the U.S. will fall. It is falling, and uh, it had its peak, and now it's on its fall. You know what I'm saying? And as the U.S. becomes as the U.S. falls further and further, you're going to see things get a lot crazier. You're going to see people start to get a lot more crazier. You're going to see a lot more crazy, a lot more as more people as the U.S. starts to fall further. It's only going to get more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to get more dangerous. And in a country like United States where there's more guns than there are there's more guns in the United States than there are people. There's no other country like this. There's more guns in the US than there is people. And people own these guns. People own multiple guns. So what happens when you live in a society where a majority of the people own a gun and their frustration and their anger and their desperation is starting to go up? Well, now you're going to see where people want to start turning on each other. We already got a lot of divide. We have a racial divide, right? We have races that dislike certain races. It's a great divide in this country. One race hates this race, another race hates this race. And so this is a recipe for disaster. This country, this whole situation was a failed experiment. When you look at homogeneous societies like China, like in Africa, uh, very homogeneous, like Western Europe, homogeneous societies, I feel that it worked out better. But when you created the United States and you say I'm gonna put all these different cultures in here and all these different races and all these different groups, this has created a chaos. It's created a chaos, and uh, it's only gonna get worse. You know what I'm saying? So my plan is to get out of here, to find a way to escape with my family. Uh, you know what I'm saying? I have some options, but I'm trying to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to I want the move to be calculated in a smart move. I don't want to just get up and go and then be effed up, even though I have an option, you know what I'm saying? Because let's say if I take the route with my woman, I do have an option through her because she has family over there, she has connections. And though we're not on the best of terms, we got to do what's right for the children. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about us, it's about the children. You know what I'm saying? We have to take our own personal shit out of it and realize what is the best for these babies. So, I'm like, okay, this this ain't this ain't panning out the way it's supposed to be panning out, and are really not my efforts are not really, you know, helping. So I say, okay, it's time for me to consider that. So in the meantime, in between time, the money is needed. The income is needed because the money is going to fund these plans. But the money is not going to come as long as one is living check to check, meaning that every week, pretty much, you're not in a position to put no money aside because your employer is not paying you enough to put no money aside. So, and everything's been tried. Everything's been tried. I keep saying everything has been tried on my end. You know, even putting in more hours is not even putting in more hours is not working. You know what I mean? Because I could put in more hours, but when I'm putting in more hours and I'm not seeing the money for these hours that I'm putting in, it's a waste of time. I could be figuring out something else to do with my time. Then be giving this company all my time, but they're not willing to pay me for my time. What I feel like one should be paid. And so, with that being said, man, I'm just tapping in today. As I sit in front of Starbucks, let y'all see my favorite spot, promo for Starbucks. I sit in front of Starbucks and I sip my coffee and I plan what I'm gonna do for the day, man. You know what I'm saying? Sip on my high caffeine beverage. But I tap in with y'all, man. I gotta go ahead and do what I gotta do. Get it? Peace. I end this shit.